I have no clue what I'm doing from one moment to the next. Just
Yeah. Well,
roll with it.
keep life interesting, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mind you, it can get you into trouble sometimes. Where like,
I mean,
yeah, I've it's it was like when I was on the Camino, it came up a lot of the time. Like my complete lack of structure kind of left me floating through the world, kind of untethered,
mhm,
and it was a very weird experience. But
mhm. Yeah,
it I learned some lessons there for sure.
yeah,
But yeah, no, it's
that
for the
works.
most part
See,
freedom.
I've paired mine by marrying somebody who thrives in structure.
I think
So,
that
yeah.
works well. I've got mine. Mine has an obsession with spreadsheets, which I find both
Oh.
charming and kind of horrifying at the same time.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
funny.
it's funny. I feel like our others are very similar actually, just from what we've talked about. The
Yeah.
paths are a nice balance to our personal chaos.
What you been
Oh,
up to? What you been doing?
it's fall,
It's
so all
fall.
of our
Yes.
crops are getting harvested because I'm like a full-time farmer now, which is horrifying for me. It's a new endeavor.
Mhm.
Again, hence the spreadsheets. We're new to this. We've already like always kind of lived an agricultural life, but we've like this year really dove right into it. So our beans just got harvested yesterday, and the wheat's getting planted right now, and we just finished like cleaning out the barn of all the old straw and hay, and it's yeah, very pastoral.
Yeah. That's fun though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely different and a bit of a life change, but on the more fun side of things, I've fallen eyeballs deep in planner related things, so that's giving me life right
Oh,
now, and it is
that's
planner season
fun.
after
It
all.
it's absolutely planner season.
So yeah, found a newfound joy within stickers, washi tape, journals, and just like I get like structure, but not really. I kind of have a
Yeah.
very open-ended planner system, which works well for me. But yeah, just getting excited about that again is giving me life these days. And it's
Yeah.
tea season too, so pumpkins and apple cider,
Absolutely.
all that stuff.
Yeah. So are you still using a weeks then? That's what
Yeah,
you've been using, right?
I love my weeks for like here she is, beautiful baby.
She's so
Um,
beautiful.
but yeah, like I feel like if my life was any more complicated, a weeks wouldn't work. But
Yeah.
just because like I like to be as busy as weeks allows, and any more than that, we need to like tone it down a bit. But
Mhm.
yeah, I love it. It works great. I don't actually usually always use all the pages in the back
Mm.
as much as I perhaps could, or the monthlies, but yeah, it works great. But I've recently decided that outside of the weeks, I wanted something in between because I've got like a kind of more spiritual grimoire journal as
Right.
well. Because you got to have like 10 journals, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Of course. Um, I wanted something that was kind of more of like a day to day, just like rambling about what you did during the day. That's
Mhm.
probably a planner term for it, as opposed to like more like philosophical, poetic thoughts, which go in what I've always been writing in. So I
Right.
jumped into a B6 finally for like a diary. Basically, I'm calling this one my diary, and I'm obsessed with it.
Oh,
I got
I love Stology. Stology is one of those that, like, I buy them all the time. I'm like, "What the hell am I gonna do with this thing? I don't
yeah.
know, but I just like it."
But it's like it's the perfect little size, and
Mhm.
it's not too much of a commitment. Like an A5 is a lot of writing per
Yeah,
page,
yeah.
and time and that sort of thing. It's just so cute and fun, and
So
it's just like
cute.
the right amount. I'm so excited about
Yeah.
it. So like I literally only just set it up. I made myself like a little mood board, like cover
Mhm.
page, which I
Oh,
need to get
that's
a
so
little
cute.
plastic cover for it to keep it on, but I'm so excited. The paper's lovely. That's the other thing when you
I
like
love the
I
Stology paper.
it's I like fountain pens, and that's kind of what
Mhm.
kind of got me into the stationery like crazy world to begin with.
Mhm.
My like hyperfixation on fountain pens. But then you get into the journals I have need to be fountain pen friendly.
Right.
And then you want them to be a specific size, and then it like opens the whole can of worms about trying to like find your perfect little system. But I think knock
Yeah.
on something wood, and I think I've achieved something that works really well for me, and I'm
That's
very excited
awesome.
about
That's
it.
awesome. I ordered a sterling ink for the first time. Like,
Ooh.
I caved to peer pressure because you know how that goes.
Well, you have to do
And
curiosity. You just want to try, right? That's
I have to try it. But also I ordered a weeks as a backup because I'm like, if I don't like it, like I need to have my weeks because the weeks is the same for me is like it's enough space. My life is really not that busy. Like, I mean, I'm busy, but like
Mhm.
it's doing big things, like big project stuff. So like
You're
my
getting
day
like
to
random
day,
micro tasks that need organizing.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like giant tasks that take me, 8 hours of doing this and 6 hours of doing that. So like my weeks is like the perfect size for that because it's just the thing that I have to do. And I'm like, that works for me. I detour from it. I had that whole little fling with the cousin. That was just
I feel
overwhelming.
like we've all got lofty pipe dreams of using the cousin and filling it and making it beautiful, being like this chunky, amazing record of everything, but it's so much.
It's so much. It's so big. I'm like, you intimidate the hell out of me. Like I
Yeah, and
got
you're a professional. Like you've been around the block when it comes to planning.
yeah.
So
I just it was the part of the problem is I got so up in my head about what I thought that thing needed to look like.
yeah.
And it's so much space that like that's a lot to fill if you're like
Mhm.
trying to
And the thing
maintain
is
this
regular,
certain look
like you have to do it every day. Or
every
else there's a
day.
huge blank page.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there were a few times where I just stuck like, you have like those sticker books and you get like there's the giant full page stickers. Like,
yeah,
okay, pop that in there.
yeah.
But then after so long, you're like, okay, my daily pages are now just stickers. Like, and nothing wrong with that, except
Mhm.
for I'm like, that's now homework and I don't need any more
Yes.
homework.
Yeah, it's supposed to bring joy, not become another task. Another
Yeah.
something that you have to do. So that's why I love the weeks. It's condensed, it's tiny, like arguably I feel like for a lot of people it's not enough space, but for me it's
It
just
isn't for most people,
yeah.
yeah. I guess most people have, like, more exciting lives than I do, I don't know. My day is the same every day pretty much.
But that's my thing.
I know, yeah, I do. Like, I thrive in that, though, because, oh, heaven forbid my, like, schedule for the day, something interrupts it, and I'm like, "Well, the day's done. I might as well just, like, call it, like, do something else because it's over."
Yeah. Or and then there's the peak where you've crossed that you're too busy to actually journal properly and write. Like you're so
Oh,
busy there just isn't the time to sit down and
yeah.
article all out. So hopefully I
I
never
think
reach that level of
hopefully not, because I think that's where I'm at currently. Because I was like, I actually don't have a tarot journal right this 5 minutes, which is really weird
like to have a specific
because
dedicated one.
yeah, I
My
mean,
plan is to kind of work my readings into the diary entries
yeah.
is my kind of plan because I've never been like a hardcore tarot journaler where I like print out the spreads and write which card
Mhm.
is which and all of the stuff. Like I'm more of a I'll digest my readings, like I'll eat them, and then
Right.
get the nutrition out of them that I need, and then they're like forgotten, which is fine.
Mhm.
But it might be nice to
Yeah.
actually start recording like little twin tidbits just within a diary setting as opposed to like committing to okay every time I do a reading now I have to document it.
Yeah. I think, for me, because I have the membership thing that I do, so I am still doing that, but that is like it is a tarot journal. So I say I don't have a tarot journal, but
Right.
I do
The
because
videos they
I
do.
have that.
Yeah.
And but that's a very specific structure and there's prompts and it's like, I get to get in it, do the thing, have the play and move on with my day. And I was like, I don't actually have because I think my tarot journal was in my cousin and then I couldn't with that anymore because I was just, I'm over you. We're breaking up. We totally had to break up. And it wasn't me, it was it. Just,
Mhm. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
absolutely.
It's just
Um
too much.
it's too much, it's too big. There's a dirty joke in there somewhere. I'm trying really hard not to find it.
We'll dance around said large
Um,
protruding joke.
yeah,
But yeah, so
and
sterling ink though is where you're gonna move towards.
I'm gonna
They do have
try
the
it.
one
We'll
size,
see.
the big like it's
No,
a
I got the week size
the week
one.
size of the sterling ink, right?
Yeah, but I think I accidentally bought the mega because they don't list them like weeks terminology, and so I was like, I shared the link with Lisa, and she's like, "That's the mega one." I'm like, "Ah, shit." Well, because I can't even fill the small one in the back pages, and
Yeah.
I don't like blank pages, like, it's a thing, so I'm like, "Well, okay." So now I'm, like, trying to manifest or create different things I could do in the back of that sterling ink. So I'm
Mhm.
like, "Okay, well, maybe I could, like,
Mhm.
tarot stuff there or, like, daily." I really want to do daily pages, like, in terms of like,
Yeah.
have you seen them where they're like beautiful and it's like there's a little like illustration and all of these beautifully printed, all the things I did today. My shit don't look like that. It
Mhm.
like it'll start out really nice and then throughout the day it's like I ate toast. I
Yeah.
did this work. I did this thing and
I
it's
got
so not
it.
exciting.
My thing is I'll start to think I can draw something that looks really nice, and then I will completely ruin a page and have to put a sticker over it
A
because it was so
sticker.
ugly.
I mean, stickers will cover up a multitude of sins.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
I'm a
And
convert to
washi.
stickers, truly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and it's easy to get like it's just this influence or just like a bit of journaler's audacity to think that, oh yeah, I can make spreads that look like this, and then
Yeah.
I just need to be okay with what I can create, and that'll be just
Yeah.
the ones I like the best are when I'm just messing around with whatever. And actually, what I would do, especially for my weeks, when I did a whole year of it this way, I'd pull a weekly card. It works
Mhm.
really well having a weeks to pull a weekly tarot card to have that be your
Mhm.
card of the week. And then I would base the theme. I do it Monday mornings, and then I would base the theme of the decor on the page around the card that I had pulled out, which was it was from like a Greek mythology themed tarot deck too. So it all kind
Perfect.
weave the myth in, and then that kind of becomes like a little like visual template of the energy of the week. And
Uh-huh.
then it's only a week, and then you move on and do it again. So it's good inspiration and it's excitement. You get to pull
Yeah.
a tarot card, and then you get to design from it, and it was like just the right amount of enough. So
That is that's
it's
a great
actually a
idea.
good way to just keep me coming back to it instead of like how it's just easy to forget about some practices because like
Mhm.
there's no like physical tangible thing drawing you back to it that
Yeah.
you have to remember. But this because you turn the page and then there's another blank one you have to do it just kind of I don't know, it worked out really well and I liked that a
Yeah.
lot.
That's really cool. Yeah, I started like keeping my tarot decks that I was working with for the month on my desk because same thing, like out of sight, out of mind. But if it's there and I see it and I will remember, oh yeah, I was doing this thing with it. So I'll
Mhm.
get it back out and I'll do it. I do the same thing with my weeks and my planners. I try to keep them out like on my desk and my
And
desk is a
agree.
mess all the time because I have like different journals and then like I'll get into other books and there's books laying around and cards and it's amazing I can find anything on my desk. Like trying to make a video, I'm like, "Oh, I gotta put all this stuff away."
Yeah. Oh, and like keeping it at a level that's not overwhelming because like if I've
Mhm.
got too many decks out at once, I get kind of overwhelmed. I
Yeah.
also have this other weird thing where like each of my decks kind of has a place where it lives.
Mhm.
So if it's not in that place, it feels incorrect to me. But at
Mhm.
the same time, there's the problem as well. If I'm not looking at it, then I don't remember I have it. So it's a constant struggle between like organization and usefulness. But
Yeah. I'm the same with my decks. If I can't see it, well, I did that big like declutter
mhm. Which
thing where
I'm like I have so much pride for you for that. I'm like so proud of that undertaking was massive, and you did
it
such a
was I mean, there was a lot of tears.
yeah. I
Like
it's gets so
it
much.
just it happens. You're like,
Yeah,
it's the overwhelm. And
yeah,
I tell everybody, do not get all your decks out and throw them in a pile on the floor. What do you think I do?
yeah.
Every damn
And of
time
course,
because
and then you sit there and you start flipping through them, which is the
yeah.
worst because I feel like when you're holding a deck in its box, you've got kind of an idea of what that deck is for you. But then once you start like opening it and flipping through all the s-
Mhm.
the energy of the universe trapped within all of the cards, it becomes like 10 times even more overwhelming. And it's just
It is, yeah.
stuck.
I also realized I stopped doing that. I mean, I know like declutter videos and all that are like they're all the rage. They get
Mhm.
really good views and all that. I realized for me, when I do that process on camera, I will talk myself into decks that I wouldn't normally keep.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, I just need to not. I need to go with like my first gut instinct. And some of them are like, you're trash. I hate you. You're going in the bin. And
Mhm.
like legitimately, because it is cards. I
Yeah,
did not
they're
I
just
did not throw away any indie decks, but there were a few mass market decks that I'll
market
be
that are
honest,
like, yeah.
pissed me off. And I
And
was like,
reselling mass market decks isn't really even
there's no you
feasible.
can't even do that anymore.
It's the
Yeah.
shipping is too much. It's just
Mhm.
easier to just if it's still in print,
Yeah.
get a new one. Like it's
Yeah. I have donated a lot of them and I've given them away because like
my friends have
trading
stopped. Like they're like, we don't want any more tarot.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
The trade thing, like, unless you know people, like, locally to trade with, like, it costs too much to like, to ship it. You could just buy the deck new
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
and have it delivered, and then but, like, there's something cathartic, okay, if you've never done it, there's something cathartic. If a deck really pisses you off, just throw it away. It's very cathartic. I've done it
I have
several
a
times.
fireplace.
Highly recommend it.
I okay. This is like tarot sins 101. But like okay, back in the day, like back when they were like, oh, you can't buy your first tarot deck, you need to wrap
Yeah.
it in silk, all of this other business. There was
Right.
a if you were done with your tarot deck, you had to burn it. Like
Right.
that was kind of the old fashioned rule. So I'm just
Mhm.
like, just keeping their traditions alive. When they're done.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
I should have burned them. That would have been so much better. But
They
like,
take a long time because they're just like a solid stack of paper, but
and they're coated
yeah,
and yeah, you got to melt through all that. Well, and
yeah,
some of them, they're like coasters now. They're so big and thick and
yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It just,
It's like they don't want us to shuffle them.
I do not understand. Like, I worked in publishing for 20 years.
Yeah.
My brain even still cannot comprehend. I mean, I know it in the background why it's happening,
Yeah.
but like, this is a tool. You're supposed to be able to use it. If I was gonna hang it on my wall, then yes, I want something thick and sturdy and all that. But
Yeah.
no, I need to be able to use it. Like, absolutely, give me shitty cardstock over this super thick,
Yeah.
like
It's
500 GSM.
which is weird because like I feel like a lot of it's almost like it's thick, but it's still cheap. It doesn't bend nicely,
Right.
which
It's
is
like
the problem.
cardboard.
So it's like people will give it a good review saying that, oh, this feels great, it's so high quality, but it's really not.
Really
Whereas
not. Yeah.
thin cardstock is high quality because it's got the core, it bends, it's got a nice like texture finish on it. Like there was a sweet spot there where a year or so ago where linen was taking off again. Nice
Yeah.
thin shuffleable linen cardstock. And I was like, great, we're back. People have figured it out. This is wonderful. But it just evaporated and we're back to big, thick
Yeah.
mat.
I don't get it. It's not an art deck. Unless you are making an art deck, then cool. But if you're making a deck of cards, you should make them like cards. It just, I mean, it seems, and also the whole production thing into publishers putting so much more effort into the book and the boxes is driving me bananas. I don't use the
That's
box in the book.
I have a weird thing with Llewellyn decks. Like I'm hesitant to even consider a Llewellyn deck because of the book and packaging, because I'm not gonna put it on the shelf like that. So I need a
Mhm.
bag for it. But if it's in a bag, I'm gonna forget what it is and not reach for it anyway. So
Yeah.
it's a vicious cycle of unpleasantness. And the cardstock, they lost the plot there.
Yeah, I think a lot of the publishers have just they've been going round and round with their cardstock. I know that there was it's trickle effect from the pandemic,
True. Yeah.
because different papers became unavailable and they had to switch things, and then it's what's in stock, and then they can't find things, and it's like a whole process. Like, I get it. I know the back end of it, but as the consumer, I'm like, can you please just make me something I can use? That's really all I want is a cardstock that I can actually shuffle. I really don't feel like that's too much to ask. You can forget the box and the book and all that. It's fine.
Yeah. But like they're working within like we as we understand the market, they know what sells, they can tell what they kind of need to do to be different and new and all this stuff. So we'll just
Mhm.
have to wait it out, I guess, and see how things go. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
the tarot landscape right now is very strange.
well, I mean, the world is strange.
Very-
Social media is strange. Was it
Yeah.
you and I talking about strange social media?
I like
There's
yeah,
a weird vibe.
it is a weird vibe right now. And I don't know what it is. And I feel like I don't know, I feel like the people who I'm used to engaging with are posting less. So and I'm not gonna say like there isn't tarot tubers out there, but just the ones that I've kind of been cozy and comfortable with for the last few years have just really scaled back. So there's like a gaping hole in my interactions online. And like
Mhm.
I'm guilty of this as well. Like I am also posting less because I don't know what to talk about. I
Yeah.
don't want to just show up and be like, yep, so here's the same 5 decks I've been using all the time.
Yeah. So
So
how long have you been on YouTube? Like
4 years?
4 years?
Yeah, and I was probably a viewer for like 2 or 3 before I started
Mhm.
making videos. So like I remember Tarothon.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. And
So have
yeah.
you had any, like, I keep talking about burnout with people, but have you
Oh,
had any, like, burnout around the tarot tube thing? Because like
yeah, it's cyclical. Like every
yeah.
couple of years something will go down and it'll just change. And that's I think it's just the natural like ebb and flow of a creative space where like a bunch of people get into it and then they'll slowly trickle out and whatnot. But just even in the creative space, like I'll be full of ideas and inspiration, and then
Mhm.
I'll feel like I've been squeezed dry of everything interesting. And I think it's
Yeah.
really tied to what I'm excited about too. So if like,
Mhm.
if I'm in the active process of learning a new technique or a new style, or I'm like really into a particular type of deck, then I'll be more apt to make a video at that time about it. Whereas like,
Mhm.
you know, months later, I still have the knowledge, but it's not as close to the forefront. So I'm not as excited
Yeah.
about making a video about it. So then it becomes work, and then it's this whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm going on 7 years
yeah.
making content,
Yeah. Well,
and
that's just in the tarot space. I've been on YouTube in one form or other. This is some top secret information for everybody,
right,
but I've been on YouTube in one form or other for over 10 years. So,
right. Yeah,
so
because you did makeup before,
I
right? Yeah.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a beauty YouTuber back in the
Mhm.
day, back in like 2013, 14, 15, 16, and I think it's 20. No, yeah, it was because I did makeup school in 2015. And then I was a makeup artist for 5 years after that. And then the pandemic, I kind of stopped because I didn't want to touch people's faces during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, can't blame you for that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then before that, I would do just random like book reviews, tea reviews. Like this is back in like the Tumblr days, like when YouTube was just a
Mhm.
baby, and
Yeah.
people were just doing whatever on YouTube, and it was fun. And oh, those videos were so bad. I've hidden them. They were so
I
long gone.
I kind of I miss the people just doing whatever. Like, and I'm totally guilty of this because like the way my channel is and like there's a schedule and all of that bullshit, which part of me is like, I hate all of it now. Like I hate all of that. I
It's
want to
hard
go
to not
back.
like get into a space where you're just like really like it's true. Like I hate myself sometimes. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
But I also like I like it. I need to give myself permission to like the things I like and make content about it
Mhm.
and not feel that disdain for like
Yeah.
the cringiness of it. And I say
There's
that
a yeah. Well, there's also this like big there's Lisa says we need to retrain the algorithm because
I
she
don't think
says
we can though. I don't think
it's
that's
all of our
we have no
all of
power to
our
do
all
this.
of our fault. But the problem is like everybody like we all say we want the more in-depth content, right? We
Mhm.
don't want the just I call it deck porn because that it's 90 decks
Or
and
Jack Parade videos, I think was another
yeah.
one went, which is great. We love them.
That's
Love
such a nicer way to say
yeah.
it than me saying deck porn,
I
but
think was it Krista? I think it might have been Krista that called them Jack Parade videos, and it's a great
yeah,
name for them. It's wonderful.
it's
It gives
great.
them yeah.
And that's fabulous. And like I'm just as guilty. Like I love those too.
And they're fun to
However,
make, and they're easy to make
they're fun to
because
make, they're easy to make, and they're
yeah.
fun to watch. However, what's happening is that when anybody makes content that isn't that, it doesn't get pushed out.
Mhm.
And so we now as a community have trained the algorithm that this is what we want
Yeah.
and don't show us the other stuff. And we're like, so how do we retrain it? Well, we specifically need to go out and watch those types of videos. Like we need to search them out and stuff like that. But it makes it difficult as a content creator because like y'all have seen my decks 900 times.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing that much new in anymore.
Yeah.
So like and
Well,
then
that's
trying to make
another thing that happens
different
too.
content.
Because naturally we want to slow down what comes in because it does
Yeah.
get incredibly overwhelming.
Of what?
So if we don't have the new fresh decks to talk about all the time, you really got to bump up the creativity and video topic to push
Right?
that wall of out into the sea of people.
Yeah. And like I'm at the point where at this point, after doing this almost 7 years, I don't know what else to say anymore. Like I feel like I've said it all. I've done it all. I don't know what else to say. And I'm just like struggling so then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna bring in all of my training and actually start making videos the way you should probably be making videos anyway, because I have the training, but they take 3 times as long.
That's
So I wasn't.
spending all day editing is the first way to drain me. Like, I think another thing is how long it takes to make videos is a well kept industry secret.
Mhm.
That's between the filming, the editing, the exporting, the uploading. It's like a day if you
Yeah.
want to make a quality video.
Yep, absolutely. There's something I can't remember the exact it's probably a little different in tarot tube world, but like 20 minutes of video generally takes me about 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking at a 40-hour video, you're now
40
at
minutes. Yeah.
a 40-minute video, you're now at an 8-hour day between the time that it takes you to set up, to actually record the thing, then do all the editing, clean up, like from start to finish, to make a video. At that, the one video that I made, I don't know if you saw it, but it was the bird by bird video where I basically made this 15-minute video about a book. Wasn't even, I did do a reading with it, but it was about a book. 15-minute video, took me a week because of the way it's edited and put together and all of that. And it's like, it's insane. But
well, and that's
not what gets views.
And I feel like at the same time, like it can seem really easy for creators to come across as like whining and complaining when like, oh, our videos don't get views. But when you spend a week of your life putting your energy and creativity and time into something that you love, that is interesting and is cool, and then for whatever reason the algorithm chooses to not show it to people, it's like it's soul crushing.
It's soul crushing. Yes, it's absolutely soul crushing.
Yeah, that's like, and I know it always sounds kind of like when you hear people complaining like, oh, our videos aren't getting views. It's like, well, you know, it's just, it's our heart and soul we put into these things. So, you know, it takes the fun of it when we just feel like we have to do it a certain way, because it comes back around to the demand avoidance. It's like, well, I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah. My favorite is when people are like, well, if you're doing it for money, okay, believe me, I made way more money when I worked a regular job.
Oh, I could be making minimum wage somewhere else. Yeah, like the money argument.
That one drives me bananas, because I'm like, you have no idea how much time this takes versus there's no even remotely balancing out of financial compensation where that is. And the only reason I say that is because we don't do it for the money.
No, never have. It's always,
that's the whole point. If we did it for the money, none of us would be here anymore. None of us.
No, there is no one on TarotTube. I assure you, 0 people on TarotTube making enough to sustain themselves at a time. No matter how many memberships, books they sell, like tarot decks they've got for sale, no one's making a living right now on TarotTube.
Nope, it's just it's not a thing.
So get that out of your head if that's the thought. But.
Yeah. So then you're looking at it is about the engagement and the views and all of that, because it's just you put your heart and soul into it, and you're like, I just want to know that it made a difference for something, for some, you know.
Yeah. Those like
there was a reason.
Positive comment where you've touched someone's soul a little bit. That's what you live for.
And that one comment can carry you through, like, that's all it takes is just one comment or one thing of, every time I get to the point in this community, I was just telling my husband this because it happened just the other day, where I'm like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. This is like the most thankless job ever. And I was just being super dramatic. But then somebody sent me a really nice message on Instagram about something that I had made. And they were like, so I did this thing and blah, blah. And it was a huge long message, right? Like a whole book about their life and this thing that they did based on like a 2-second thing that I did in a video. And I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah, that totally makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Like that one little moment.
The main focus there is the community part of it. Like to feel like there's still a community there that's taking part. So I think that's another thing. Comments are down. I think people are commenting a lot less. I think like with our the way we engage with short form content is kind of rolling over into long form content. So people, at least I'm noticing, comments like just are so there's not as much engagement. So you feel like you're talking to nobody, which is another weird.
That
happens sometimes, but yeah, when we do get those people genuinely coming out and like saying that they liked something for some reason, or that you've touched them in a certain way, like not like what I mean, like, you've made an impact in a certain way. It's just, it makes it all worth it, and just as a reminder of the fact that there is a whole community of us, and we're all here. We all have a shared interest of tarot, which is we came to the internet because kind of hard to find in real life.
Yep, absolutely.
I always forget, but like, oh right, yes. If I start talking about this stuff in real life, it's people's eyes glass over immediately. So it's so I'm very blessed to have a space of wonderful, like-minded people, which is another great thing about the member spaces, because it's almost a super concentration of people who are like
Mhm.
super niche down into the exact same things. And
Yeah.
some of our best conversations happen in those discords in the
Mhm.
back rooms.
In the back rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, member spaces like Lisa and I refer to it as like it's safe space for content creators.
Yeah.
Most of the content creators that I know that have memberships or Patreons or something like that, some sort of off public view space, it allows you as a creator to be a little bit more open and free too, because you don't have to like worry so much about what you're saying or how you're presenting it, or did these days, did you show a naked butt or a boob, because YouTube will get you for that, even though it's
I'm
art
not a
that's
fan of this new censorship, because every tarot
yeah.
deck has a naked person in it usually.
Yeah. Like, and sometimes you're trying to figure out like what are you even seeing, YouTube, because I'm not seeing it. And yeah, we've gone down the rabbit hole with that and trying to fight back against
Yeah,
it, but you're fighting with a bot, so
exactly. And honestly, I've got a feeling that they're just suppressing tarot content in general
Mhm.
or like it's just a theory, but
Mhm.
there's got to be something like a bigger thumb pushing down on us than we're used to, because this is very weird.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people getting dinged who wouldn't normally, and for things that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah,
So,
that's very weird. All the more reason to like, comment, and subscribe when there's someone you like. Tell them.
right?
You
Yeah,
don't think like, oh, you think that they're going to be too big to appreciate your comment. That's not true.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely not true. Yeah. We see them all, and also this community is not that big, so like everybody kind of knows everybody in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So,
Another thing I will say too is, if you were thinking of starting a tarot tube channel, but you're too afraid that, no one cares, it's a lie. Start one. Start a
mhm.
tarot tube channel. Don't do it with the expect of making money, which, as we said, you won't, but like,
Yeah.
it's so much fun actually, and we would be there 100% to support you. It's,
Mhm.
I'm always pushing people to start channels, because it's fun. And if you're in that space where you are excited about it, you're gonna have the best time making
Yeah.
videos.
It's fun to it's an ongoing conversation, and, like, I love that, like, about the tags and whatnot. I mean, I've been really bad about participating in those, so, like, that's bad on me, but it is a conversation, like, and most of us who I think came into, like, tarot tube in general was to just participate in that conversation. Like, that's why I started my channel, was I
Yeah.
just wanted to participate in the conversation. I was
Yeah.
like, "Look, I have decks too."
Yeah, I like these ones. It's
Yeah.
like you go to school with your little backpack and you're like, "Look, I have this," and then everybody's all
Uh-huh.
excited about it, and then it's just a great way to kind of express your own personality, and because tarot is tied to such like mystical and spiritual things, it's so like it's I think that's another reason why we're so vulnerable about it. It's like and and because it is so tied to such a pure and unmasked version of ourselves, right? Like, the decks we love say so much about us. How
Mhm.
we use tarot says so much about us. That's like,
Mhm.
I would hate like if my family members don't watch my YouTube videos. I
Mhm.
do not give them access. I don't want them to see that deeply personal part of me that, strangers on the internet get just from.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that funny? Because 'Cause I'm exactly the same way. I'm like, I don't need anybody in my personal sphere to really be in that space. I'm like, "You stay over there and that's fine. This is a different sort of space," but it's way more vulnerable here on the internet for all the strangers.
Yeah.
'Cause
So yeah, you get
like
all of my deep darkest secrets and
uh-huh.
desires and hopes and dreams and all that jazz that I would never share with people I actually know in real life. But
Isn't
it's
that
just how it
funny?
is. It's part of the magic. It's why
It
it's so
is part of
good.
the magic. There is something about maybe putting the screen, or the fact, I think maybe really what it is when you're in a community like this, if you and I are talking about tarot decks or whatever it is, or planners or whatever, like we know we're both into that. We're here in the same space,
Yeah.
versus if I'm talking about that in, outside of like, my poor husband and his eyes glassing over if I'm talking about tarot or planning or whatever. Granted, to be fair, I did the same thing when he talks about motorcycles. So like, it's give and take, but
Yeah. balance. But yeah, no, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you mean. So it's, yeah, having a community of people who are familiar with what it is you're talking about just kind of opens up that possibility of, you know, connection, which is more difficult in real life for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's a, like, we're obviously still here. There's something we're still getting about. I
Yeah.
love it. It's just sometimes it's a battle with the self to feel like, that's the other thing, because it's like a one woman show over here. There's no like boss telling me I'm doing a good job. So if I start to think I'm doing a bad job, or I start to be like super self-critical about what I'm creating, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
reminding myself that no, you like this, you're good at this. People enjoy listening to you, even though you think you're just talking about whatever. So
Yeah. I think that all the time. I'm like, why are you people listening to me? I have nothing interesting to say. Like, I like literally like 40-year-old mom over here got, I don't know why you're all listening, but it's just
you're
like,
fantastic.
okay.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
I think you changed the game for deck mods, like in the beginning. Like your name was in everybody's mouth, even still. Deck mod
Yeah.
queen, and you're like
Yeah.
playing with pairs. It's iconic. It left a huge mark on.
I see a lot of playing with pairs videos. I love
Yeah,
those. Those are
yeah,
so much fun.
yeah, they are. The trouble is though, I find so many good pairs, but then like I gotta like I can only do so many tarot readings a day. I can only
Yeah.
use so many decks in one go. So like I think this fall specifically, I've been slowing down my tarot use like quite a bit. For a while, like, and I was like, my stalker cards lately have been unpleasant. Have been like 10 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and the Wheel have been my stalker cards. So I'm like, okay, no, there's something's ending. There's like a shift and change kind of going all out. So I'm like, I'm just gonna slow down. I'm just gonna take it easy, and we're gonna kind of see what happens. And it goes with the season too, but still, just yeah, taking it down a notch and trying not to overuse tarot. For me, everybody has their own amount that is the correct amount for them to use. But when I start to feel like when my readings aren't hitting as much, when I feel like I'm looking at the cards and seeing nothing, I'm like, okay, no, wait, we need to chill a little bit.
Yeah.
And then come back around to it a bit later.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same space. I've just pulled out like I've been doing a small selection of decks. And then I make a video about my decks I worked with, and I went, man, that's a lot of fun. But in comparison to what I own, it's not. I'm like looking at these 15 going, okay, that's good. That's like not a lot. But I even coming into the fall, I'm like, fall's a perfect time to kind of just step it back a little bit, chill a little bit, take a little less. I don't want my tarot to feel like homework. And sometimes when I get into a bunch of different practices, it starts to feel that way. Even with the shit I create, which is ridiculous. But I'm like, I made that, but now it feels like homework to me. So I don't want to do it. And then I just won't, because I'm rebellious like that. Even though I made it and it's my own rules. Nope, I'm not going to do it. But sometimes it starts to feel that way. Cause like, I love the idea of all the different practices. And I love the idea of like being able to use like, tons of different decks. And like, I can use this deck for this and this deck for that. But then like after a while, I'm just like, now it's just homework. Now I feel like I'm just trying to check off the boxes of I was going to do this month and this month. And it
or
just,
like you've kind of designated the deck for a specific job, but you still kind of want to use it for something else, but then you feel bad for not using it for the thing that you designated it for. Happens to
I
me
do that sometimes with pairings too. Like I need to make a video, but I have like decks that are like, they're monogamous, right? They are absolutely
they're basically
monogamous.
the same deck, they're just separate. Oracle
They're,
Tarot.
yeah. They live together. They live together on my shelf. They always get, used together. They're on the table together. And then I get to the point where I'm like, then if I want to pull one out to use it with something else, it's like cheating. I'm like, this is terrible. This deck can't do this. This is awful. I'm having like a little affair over here with my decks. My relationship with my decks is really weird. I totally personify them.
It's half the fun. Some of mine get personified. Others are just kind of like, just another deck with a different code on. Like they're all the tarot anyway. They're the same 78 cards, just with a different so it's like, oh, what's the weather like today? What should I dress my tarot as? But then others are a bit more like, oh no, this one I use to work with a particular spirit, or this one I use like for a very specific reason. So I think there's definitely different classes of designation for decks.
Yeah. Mine are like all my little friends. I'm not sure what that says about me, but I'm like, sometimes you need the
I've got
chatty
a dog like you, so
friend.
you are not like you're it's a safe space here. I literally have a bunch of little plastic women living with me. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, true. I have shelves of like all of my like fandom stuff that is like clearly I was gonna say issues, but that sounds terrible. I have I have little people that I like, and then I have all my pixel people, and that's a whole other thing.
Hey, pixel people, ephemerists, non-corporeal being people, it's all the
Mhm.
same. We're
It's
just
all the
all doing the
same.
same thing here.
Yeah. I was having an interesting conversation with somebody about the like gods and goddesses and things like that. And we were joking that okay, so the one set of pixels that Lisa and I always play with that we talk about that we have decks, I
Mhm.
was like, we've basically elevated him to god level.
Well, basically, okay, so like there's the
Yeah.
concept of an egregore too that gets thrown around,
Hmm.
like a collective understanding and idea of an energy that kind of becomes its own entity that can like go around and do stuff. So yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm on board. It sounds
It
cool.
was it was an interesting thing because it's like it would be one thing if it was just like Lisa and I, but it's not. There's
Got
a
a little
whole
a horde of you.
yeah, there's a whole
You're
bunch of us.
basically like Maenads for Dionysus in a different situation, except
Yeah,
you get
pretty
to like
much.
play as Dionysus sometimes, which
Yeah.
is fun.
We kind of joke about the Starian being a god. He is like we are devoted to him. We have decks in his name. We have little idols. We have all the things. But I think it's more that it leads to those avenues for like personal growth because also we look at why that with him. Well, now Lisa and I know why that with him. He's been abused his whole life and he had to come through that trauma. And you, as the player, get to help him go through that trauma. So you get to help him come out the other side. And that's the whole draw.
Yeah. Oh,
So
so interesting. And it's like
yeah.
that is like emotional roller coaster the whole bit, which is
Yeah.
but it makes sense. And it's I find it really interesting too, like the way you guys came like with Astarian specifically. It was kind of like a top-down devotional thing as opposed to a bottom-up. So like you started by
Mhm.
like your behavior was devotional, like without
Yeah.
it, and then it kind of built and grew from that instead of like deciding that you wanted someone to worship and found one and then
Yeah.
learned about them and worked with them. It happened the opposite way where like
It really
you
did. Yeah.
found a
It started out as a joke.
yeah, like, oh,
Yeah.
my boyfriend.
We're
And then,
like, oh yeah, it's okay. We'll share a boyfriend. And that
yeah,
was the whole thing. Yeah.
yeah. And then it just kind of it grew
Hmm.
and kind of went its own way because of it. But it started at the other end than what
Yeah.
a lot of people would approach deity work, where they're like looking for a deity or looking for something to devote themselves
Yeah.
to instead of it finds them,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, it's actually how so I'm actually working on a deity adjacent book with somebody currently, and so we've been talking a lot about this, and I've realized that that's actually how deity works for me. It's like that Astarian level thing. It finds me.
Mhm.
I don't go looking for deity. I don't specifically set out to work with a particular deity. And when I'm not working with deity, that's fine. Like I just hang out and I wait, and like somebody will show up eventually when I need them
They
to,
always
and they
do.
always do.
Like,
Like the Morgan, out of no, I've never had any interest in the Morgan, not because she's not fabulous, she is, but there were always other things, right? And then when I was trying to finish my book with Llewellyn, my first book, I was not in a great place with it, and then my inner teenager was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to because you can't make me. And
so you
like
needed a swift kick in the
I needed a swift kick in the
yeah.
ass, and she showed up, and I was not expecting it, and it came out of nowhere.
Mhm.
And I was like, all right, well, cool. This is what we're doing now. So let's just roll with it. But it's never that I don't know that I've ever really set out to like, I'm going to, worship this deity. I
Mhm.
was trying to find a nicer way to say that, but it's never an intentional thing for me. I stumble into it, which I feel like is really a metaphor for most of my life. I mean, I stumbled into my channel. I stumbled into tarot. Like,
I think the best and most authentic things are the things you find by accident, though, instead of
yeah.
having a very specific idea of what you. Because if you've got a specific idea of what you want, you're going to be disappointed. But
Yeah.
if you don't know what's going to happen or what you want or
Mhm.
where you're going, then everything is a wonderful, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah.
but
Has that been kind of your experience with
with deity,
I know it's a weird, it's
yeah.
a interesting subject, but
Yeah, no, it's great though. I love it. This is the good stuff. It's what
okay.
I live for. But it's funny because for the longest time, like with Hermes, I think he showed up for me before I even knew he did.
Mhm.
Because I did some work where I was like going back and reflecting on some past experiences, and I would like look at photos and relive experiences, and like I could see he was there. I just didn't see him at the time in like
Mhm.
really like symbolically obvious ways. And like I think he came back from Greece with me in 2013, the first time I went, and he's just kind of always been around since then, which
Just
was
hanging
really
out.
interesting and really weird. But it
Mhm.
was just like that was a big moment for me, like realizing how like even if I wasn't aware that there was deity in my life, it
Mhm.
was. So
Mhm.
it wasn't just something that was making because sometimes you get in your head about it thinking, oh,
Mhm.
am I just making this up? Is this just
Yeah.
crazy? But then, like situations like that, like, oh no, it's always been there. It's always been a guiding like force, but just a presence, I guess,
Presence, yeah.
in one way or other. And it was just really interesting to find that out. Um, and then I have others that like in my head I consider them deities, so more just like spirit work in general. And
Mhm.
they kind of are arms and fingers that branch off of other
Mhm.
more larger and concrete and more like stereotypical deities as well. So it's like a whole web of understanding and feeling and experience and stuff. But
Mhm.
I too come in and out of it. Like, and you can't control it. Something that's a
Mhm.
lie. You can call deity in and
Mhm.
like ask. But
Right.
worse, you can always ask if you
Right.
need them. And in some way, like once you've gotten to know a deity, then that's something that's a more regular practice. But when it comes to like meeting them and getting to know them, it's best to just wait for them to see what comes
Mhm.
to you first instead of I say what's best. Who am I? Who am
Yeah.
I to know anything about anything? Like if you're out there and you really want to work with Venus or Akate, like go for it. But
Mhm.
I think just like feeling out where you're at right now is just keeping your eyes and ears open, like
Mhm.
knowing what the symbols are to look for. Like so, like as I said, Hermes was there before I knew, so I didn't
Yeah.
know what the symbols and the signs were. But in going
Mhm.
back, I recognize them now. So
Right, yeah.
basically, just study, just familiarize yourself, and then you'll know if they do show up, I guess.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's one of the more rewarding parts of my practice working with deity.
Mhm.
And it's actually one of the parts that I keep most secret as well, because it's so special.
It's the
And
most personal too, I
oh,
think.
it's not just personal, it's intimate. It's like
Yeah.
it's physical in a
Mhm.
ephemeral kind of way. It's
Mhm.
intimate. It's everything. I love it so much, but
Mhm.
it's also, yeah. I really got to watch how I talk about it, because sometimes like I'll start to talk about it and then I'm like, no, this feels wrong because this isn't for everybody. This is just for me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I don't talk about deity work in any specifics most of the time either because for one, I feel like how everybody approaches it is very unique to them.
and
So
you can do it however you want. Like
however you
working with
want,
a goddess deck is deity work, but you're just
yeah. Mhm.
surface level interacting with them in a divinatory sort of way. But you can work
Yeah.
with deity in a million different ways.
Yeah.
So there's no one
And
way.
it doesn't have to be like this. And that was the thing when I was much younger when I was like studying different goddesses and stuff like that when I was like I want to get away from all this patriarchal religion stuff. And
As one does.
yeah. And I was and I think that's great, like actual studying different goddesses and all of that. But the thing that I've realized nowadays is like what I thought was actual deity work back then is completely different than how like deity work for me is now. Like my goddesses have some of them have dice sets and like it's play and it's fun. And that's something like back in the day when I first started like researching and learning, it was like um had to be much more
Oh,
structured, much more
formal ceremony.
serious,
There
formal.
was like
Yes.
really
Very
heavy,
high ritual.
mhm, which you
That's not
can
me.
do,
You
but at the
can
same time,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
It's
nice to have a
absolutely
more
not me.
casual relationship. It's a relationship. It's
It's a
like a,
relationship. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, are you like hanging
Absolutely.
out with your boss? Are you like, or is it just like a friend? Or is it like a family
Mhm.
member? Like, relationships vary based on who
Mhm.
it is you're working with. And it's the same with dating. So,
Same with deity.
and like, yeah, it's little bits like that that just keep me tied to things
Mhm.
and remind me why it is I do what I do. And
Mhm.
it's just lovely and it's nice. And if I could share the experience more, I would, but I just, it's the best advice is just, go at it your own way and try and do the best to find what you're looking for, I guess. Because that's
Yeah.
we're all just seekers. We're looking for
Yep.
something.
We're all just looking for something.
Usually
Some
we
of us
find
don't know what we're
yeah.
looking
No,
for,
we don't know
but
what we're looking for, but we will look
just
everywhere for it.
yep. Something's missing. Maybe it's this deck, maybe it's this
Yeah.
journal, maybe it's this planner
Yeah.
system.
Hey,
I
it's brought me an immeasurable amount of joy over the years,
mhm,
so 0
mhm.
regrets.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Absolutely. Well, okay, maybe occasionally when I'm like piled around all these decks and they're like I'm in
Um,
tears on the floor calling my husband
somewhere.
going, I have too much stuff. And he's like, I've been telling you that for
Well,
like
at the same time,
months.
though, like it was difficult, but you did manage to narrow it down after that. You got yourself back to a more comfortable
It-
position. It wasn't
Yes.
impossible. So
Yes.
yes,
It
it
was
sucked at the time, but it was,
yeah.
if you were to go back, would you go back and not buy them, or would you do it the same way again?
I would probably still do it the same way again because like every experience I had with a deck, be as good or bad, is still an experience that I got to have. And going through for the like second or third time since I've been here on YouTube in a massive pile of decks, crying to anybody who will listen to my sad story about how many decks I have because that's just pathetic. But, um, every time I go through that, I feel like I learn something about me as like a deck collector and what I do want to collect and what I don't and where that line is for me because it's a different thing for everybody, but it's also a different thing based on whether we're talking about like decks I use for this work or decks I just have for everyday stuff. And I do have some decks that like I have a deck that I bought for when my youngest turned 16. We had a unicorn party and I bought the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. The only reason I have that deck is because they played with it at the 16th birthday party. I will never get rid of it. I will never use it because it's not my thing. But like and being okay with that and because every time I do one of these big deck declutters, that's a good example because I pull it out. I have never personally have never used it. The kids played with it. They used it during the birthday party, but I have never personally used it. I never will personally use it. It's not my thing. But I will always have it. And that's like one of those things that like I'm just okay with having that because it has a sentimental attachment to it now. But then I realized that when I pull out all those decks and I've got like, okay, I've got 9 decks that all feel like they sit in the same space for me and do the exact same job, then I
Mhm.
realized
Yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
Or
That's
like
too
when you
much.
go to use a deck from that category, you get overwhelmed because there's too many that are
Yeah.
good for it. Yeah, that,
Yeah.
that yeah. The way we all interact with collecting decks is very different. Like
Mhm.
there's some that I think you don't use, you have them, they're there for collectors purposes, but like maybe if you want to, they're there. Others like
Mhm.
you just want out of the house immediately. So
Mhm.
it's how I think the trouble comes with, I think there's a lot of like shame and judgment coming
Mhm.
from deck collecting for some reason.
I
So like
I
we
don't
internalize it a lot
know.
of the time.
Yeah.
It's so weird because like people have collected stuff since the dawn of time. People collect things all the time.
Mhm.
I don't know what it
Mhm.
is. It's like, are we expected to have one deck that we have a deep connection to, and like the fact that we have these others negates that? It doesn't, because
Mhm.
like you can still have a deck that rocks your world every time. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
really. But I was thinking too that the little quote that's on Nostology, we're gonna bring it right back around to our
Mhm.
astrology conversation. This is what should have been
Perfect.
is.
Perfect. What
So
should have been
like whenever you
is.
start to feel bad, it's like, no, no, that was always gonna happen anyway. Because it did
Yep.
happen. That's
It did happen. It was meant to happen that way.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I learn something every time.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've realized is that, like, especially if you've been doing it for a while, decks I used 10 years ago, certainly 20 years ago, even, 2 weeks ago, might not fit me anymore.
Yeah.
And that's been a definite process of me learning that it's okay because I'm allowed to grow as a person. It's really hard when you're a content creator because there's a particular view of you that you not only present to the world yourself, but then that other people have. And so then like things like certain decks become tied to your way of being in the community and in the space. And then you're looking at it going, this doesn't fit me anymore. like, this is not me anymore. I have the same problem with channel content too, because I'm like, this is not me anymore. It doesn't fit me. I don't do this
Yeah.
anymore. I did it 5 years ago because it made sense for where I was and what I was going through or whatever. But that's been a thing for me to realize. And then learning the letting go process of that has been really great, because it's like closing a final chapter on things. Like,
Yeah.
especially if I had like a deck that I bought because of a certain thing, right? Because it was a certain practice, or like, let's be real, sometimes it's usually like it's a certain feeling. I was feeling a
Or the
certain
vibe at the
way.
time, right? But
Yeah,
that vibe is long gone.
it's
We're in a
gone,
different vibe right now.
and I
So
don't need it anymore. And
yeah.
I don't need it in my life, and I don't need it in my house. And it's like it's okay for it to
And like
go.
as content creators, we need to remember, like, we're not monoliths. Like, we're not expected to be the same forever. We can grow and change. We're people too. Like, it's
Oh, that's not the expectation though.
I know it's not like, oh,
Yeah.
what do you mean you're doing something you've never done before? This is weird and different. We know, like, but like,
Uh-huh.
but
That's
then
a
that's
that's
the
really
other
hard
joy about
space.
being on tarot too, because it is relatively smaller. We do technically have more freedom to change because it's small peanuts, right? So like,
Mhm.
we can
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
completely like torch everything behind us and start again.
Yeah, that's always my go-to. Like, there's a huge part of me that wants to, like, I not delete my channel, because I
Oh,
promised I never would.
Badge Rising, I'm like, one of these days, everything will just be gone. No one
Yeah.
will know. I'll just light fire to it all and disappear,
Yeah.
and that'll be that. But
That will be me. When I go, it's gonna be in a blaze of glory.
yes,
But every once in a while, though, I'm like, I just wanna start a new channel. Like, I just, like, start all over again,
yeah,
and, like, here's this thing, or here's that thing, or whatever, because I feel like as things grow and change, we do have the ability to change as this, the space allows, but there is that. I don't think I'm articulating this very well. There is a certain perception.
yeah. Well, and we've niched down pretty hard,
We've
so
niched down pretty hard, and it's hard to step outside of that,
yeah.
and you're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
well,
So okay,
now
if you were to torch everything and start a brand new channel, would you do one with less parameters? Would it just be like Dawn Michelle and then you would just post whatever
Yeah,
and with
I
less like
absolutely would.
yeah,
It would be such a hot mess, because if I could, and if that, like, were a thing that could happen, you would have tarot and journaling and gaming and my dog, and I don't know, whatever my latest obsession is of, like, right now I'm collecting Kuromi shit, and it would just be this ridiculous hot mess. And some of the videos would be me just doing whatever ridiculous thing in the moment, and some of them would be hyper high quality edited, and it would be so weird,
yeah,
because it would just be one extreme or the other. It'd be
yeah,
like how I either show up in member space, which is I rolled out of bed and here I am, let's talk, or I spent 2 weeks creating this really incredibly beautiful video.
yeah.
YouTube,
There's no in
however,
between.
there's no in between. And
Oh my,
YouTube does not
oh no,
reward that kind of
no, not at
behavior.
all. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple of secret Instagrams as well because I'm like, I want to talk about dolls, but I don't want to scare everybody away. So
Mhm.
it's like if I
Yeah.
had a separate, like, it would go from fountain pens to dolls to gardening to like
Mhm.
just my life and my dogs and tarot
Yeah.
and deity work and magic and like it would be ridiculous. No one would know what the heck it was, and I think that's a
Yeah.
big flaw that YouTube has kind of
It
got itself
really
into
is,
because you
because,
have
like,
to niche down if you want
you
like
have to niche down, yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is that I realize that, like, as a viewer, that's what I want. I wanna see every freaking side of because here's the thing, if I'm watching a channel, it's because I like the person.
Yeah, exactly.
99% of the time. There's, like, maybe 1 or 2 channels that I watch for other reasons. Maybe they're super informative or something like that. But if I'm watching YouTube in general, it's because I like the person and I want to know everything about them. I want to see every facet of their life. But you can't really do that in this space, because I tried and I got a lot of pushback when my gaming stuff was more mixed in with my
Ah,
main channel.
people are just like, "No, no, you're Don Michelle. You do
People
journals
was
and you do tarot, and
Yeah,
that's
and
it."
I can't do anything beyond that. And it's like, well, actually, and the funny thing is because there's so much crossover, and that was in my brain. I was like, they don't exist in separate spaces
Yeah,
to me.
like, for you, they're the same.
It's the same, and
Yeah.
they all bleed together. I mean, I use dice in my tarot, I use decks in my gaming, like, it just all blends together, And so in my brain, I was like, it just makes sense for me to do it all in the same space because it's all me, it's all my life.
Mhm.
But no, that's not the case. Then I had to do a whole thing, and it was a whole thing. And then I got in trouble on YouTube over there, and it was a whole thing. So now we're on Twitch because yeah, YouTube doesn't like the way that Lisa and I game. So we're on Twitch now. But
At least there is a place like Twitch where
yeah,
it's just it would be nice to just
it's interesting
you're
because
also
that's
not
what I
gonna-
would like to see.
yeah, you're not going to get burnt out being yourself. Like we're getting
Yeah.
like people are getting burnt out because they're trying really hard to do what they think is expected of them, and it kind of
do
is
the
great.
one thing.
But if you're just being yourself, following your bliss, and like embodying your joy every day, however that happens to be, you're not going to get burnt out. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen. So
Yeah,
it is a shame.
it is. That is a really good point because I feel like I cycle through burnout. Like I don't even know if you'd call it burnout anymore, but it's like I'm cycling through it like every few weeks now. Now, Grant, I'm writing
Million
5 books, and
Wait.
like I have the content and then the gaming
Congratulations on the
stuff.
new one, by the way.
Oh,
It's
thank
really
you.
exciting.
Thank you. It's exciting. There's
Is
so
there
much.
room to be excited about it with all the others going on in the back?
No,
No.
it's not real at this
No.
point. I think the moment that I had like the most realist moment with it, that's not proper English. I'm totally a writer.
Most realistic.
The most realist was when I was texting back and forth with Mary K. Greer about the forward.
Wow.
And I was like, that's weird. That's really weird. Because
yeah.
her books were one of the first that I read 20 plus years ago when I first started, doing tarot and getting into the thing. So to be and like just having this like weird everyday sort of conversation with her,
Yeah.
in my mind, she exists in a totally different sphere. Like she's like rock star level, right? And I'm like over here going, who the fuck am I? I'm just like, why is she talking to
Reminder
me?
of the size of the tarot space. Like even the people that we feel like are like rock stars and like they're not out of reach entirely. Like it's like it's a really special space that we're in that like there's only so many degrees of separation. So
yeah, which is it's really cool. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that was the first
knowledge about tarot is brilliant and wonderful. And it's like compared to the good old days where all I had was my Eden Grey how to read a book. Like this was it. This was how we learned with like 3 paragraphs and a wish and a hope and a dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in the day we didn't have much to learn from. I think you came to it's like there's tarot. There's like a river of tarot, but everyone comes from a different stream and then meets the river eventually. So you came from more of a numerological base layer learning, understanding. Most people come from Rider-Waite-Smith in one way or another. But even then, like you can read Rider-Waite-Smith a million different ways. So
oh yeah. I mean, it's really interesting because when I started first reading tarot books, I was like, I don't get this. This doesn't make sense to me because it didn't have that baseline to it. But then I was just doing a member video and I was talking about working with a pip deck and I'm like, you can absolutely read a pip deck RWS too.
I do it all the time.
Nothing to say that you can. So like it's all kind of subjective and it's really it's grown a lot over even the last for sure the last decade, like how people approach tarot. Because when I first came into it, it was very well, beside the family thing, which they were all just hippies. Man, they just read the cards however they wanted to. It was great. But when I first started studying and I came into, and then I got into like witchy spheres and stuff like that and involved in that aspect of things, like there was a very set way of doing things back in the day.
In like the 90s and 2000s, like witchcraft was very structured. Like there were rules. Like I don't think the newcomers don't understand. Like you had to do things a certain way and everybody would tell you like, no, you need to do it this way. No, you need to do it this way.
Yep.
It was
and if you
wild.
Didn't do it the proper way, it like that's just a no-go. Now you're either out or you're done or whatever.
Tarot reading was very predictive and like fortune tellery then compared to now, where you can use it for anything. But like it was you were using it to like spy on people and what color my husband's hair is going to be, like this, like that kind of stuff. Whereas like now, like obviously you can do that, but it's grown into much more of a useful tool, I think.
Yeah, I think so
But
too.
you know, it's just so interesting how times have changed.
Thank you so much for coming and hanging
No
out.
problem. My
So
pleasure. I'm super
fun.
happy to be here. It's great to
That's
chat
so
to you all day.
Yeah, it was absolutely fun.